Alright, what is going on, guys? We are back for episode 11 of the Lightforce podcast. I am Noah, this is Laney, as always. How we doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. We have so much to talk about today, so I'm excited.
Yes, we do. I'm sipping on a little coffee. Dude, check out the mug, dude. Wait, hold on, let me get it
Let
right.
me see.
International Festival of the Arts 2024. This is
I
actually
love
when I
that
hung out
festival.
with Andrea, who we talked about last week. Got it the
Yes,
same day.
at Padawan Chronicles. Shout out to Andrea. I realized last week that we didn't even ever say her freaking handle on anything, and I was like, "That's so fake of us." Padawan Chronicles, we love you.
Yeah, we're terrible friends.
Yeah,
Especially you.
we're besties. Oh, okay.
Alright.
Whatever you say.
But how we doing? Everything's going great. Episode 11 of the podcast. Guys, before we get into everything, be sure to go follow us on social media. We are on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, even though we barely use Threads, at the Lightforce Podcast. And we have a Discord now as well, which we talked about last week. It is linked in the description here on YouTube. And if you're listening on Apple and Spotify, just go over to our Instagram. I'm pretty sure you said you linked it on there as well.
Yeah.
She's like, did I? I don't know.
Like, yeah, I did actually.
I did something.
Did my job.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, definitely go join the Discord. It's been a lot of fun so far. We definitely want to keep using it to interact with you guys every week. But we got a pretty busy episode. Some new noteworthy stuff coming out of New York Comic Con last weekend. So we're going to be talking about it mostly we'll get there. But mostly Marvel stuff, and then we got some Star Wars as well. But fit check, you first.
We're not skipping the fit check today. Today I have my General Grievous, it's a cropped Comfort Colors Grievous embroidered shirt. I love it so much. It's from Jedi Kaylin. I have a lot of Jedi Kaylin stuff. You guys will soon notice. But yeah, I think it's sick, especially because he has his yellow eyes. It's fire. It's pretty fire. I wear it all the time.
You got a lot of comfort color shirts too. You always
They're the best.
You always
They're
bring
the
that
best.
up.
They're awesome.
I got this Iron Paradise shirt on today. See, it's starting to get a little chilly up here in the old Jers, so I had to put
Nippy. It's a bit
some long
nippy.
sleeve on.
He's got his
today.
long sleeve.
Long sleeve on. Usually it's no sleeves, you know what I mean, guys? Yeah, nice of me. But this is what we got on today, and as well, dude. We got the Lightforce podcast hat on today. Technically is available on my Noah Nation merch store right now. This is just kind of like the original.
He's reaping all the benefits, guys.
Reaping
That's
all
what
the
he's trying to
benefits.
do.
When this channel gets monetized, you ain't getting a penny.
Getting a single penny.
But I'm gonna do more than this eventually. This was just kind of the initial hat. But I think eventually it's pretty fire. Old trucker hat, nice and basic. But maybe after the new year, I think we'll try to get an actual merch store together. Maybe we can brainstorm on some ideas eventually.
We'll see.
But yeah, this is technically available now. If you go over to my merch store, Noah Nation Fourth Wall, something. I don't know what the hell it's called.
Just another random name.
Just another random. No, the Fourth Wall's the distributor, the website.
My bad.
Something like that. That's what we'll probably end up using. But anyway, yeah, pretty fire.
I feel like I had very, very strong FOMO. Because of New York Comic Con this past weekend. I was like,
Dude.
Wow, everyone looks like they're having so much fun, and I really wish I was there.
You're telling
and
me.
that happened at LA Comic Con too, but it was so much worse for New York Comic Con because things actually happened. Like we're going to talk about, things were actually announced. Marvel had its panel. Marvel Animation had a panel. I think X-Men had its own panel, which really bothers me a lot. Yeah, and it's right in your backyard. So,
dude, well, that's the thing. So to rewind a little bit, in June at the same building, the Javits Center where New York Comic Con was, there was like Fanatics Fest or whatever, and obviously it's basically a sports convention. It's basically a New York Comic Con, a San Diego Comic Con, but for sports. So you got literally the biggest names in all the sports, and of course WWE was there. But the same weekend is when I went to go see Hugh Jackman at Radio City, and I'm literally driving by the Javits Center, and I'm like, John Cena's in there right now. What the hell? I could go in. But it was even a whole different thing this time around, because coincidentally enough, me and my sister go up to Brooklyn for the day. last Thursday, and I'm like, wait a minute, dude, New York Comic Con's this weekend. What are we doing in Brooklyn? We should get over to
Yeah,
Manhattan.
like
So
what the
coincidentally
heck?
enough, I'm in New York the same weekend these cons are going on, and I looked it up when we were sitting down drinking some coffee. I'm like, I'm 30 minutes away from the Javits Center right now, where New York
Poorly
Comic Con's going
planned,
on.
Noah
What
Nation.
am I?
Poorly
What am I
planned.
doing? But
Horrible.
yeah, we both have excuse me some FOMO, and we're going next year, so
Yeah, I think
we'll figure it
next
out.
year we're definitely going to make an effort to make it to New York Comic Con for sure, and possibly LA Comic Con, possibly LA or
Yeah.
San Diego. I feel like we could choose one California con to go to. Um,
Is it just because I'm so uninformed that I feel like San Diego's like difficult to attend? Like
no,
the
I
with the
feel
tickets
like
and stuff, or
no, I feel like it is kind of falling off a little bit, but I don't know. I've also never been before. I just feel
yeah.
like it used to be this whole event and now it's not. Like I feel like Marvel and Star Wars made sure they had panels going because that was their
Hmm.
big. I don't know, their big. That was the time to
Definitely
announce
Marvel, yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Hall H, man, legendary. They
Mhm.
didn't do anything this year, which I mean, it was probably good because there's really what would they have possibly talked about at San Diego? Like Marvel goes to San Diego, you know, you're getting some bombshells. I think they probably decided on New York this year because they can be like, oh, we'll do a little Daredevil, a little X-Men, a little this that, but it won't be. No one's gonna be expecting like us to drop, you know, RDJ as Doctor Doom or anything like that. But
Mhm.
yeah, we're definitely got to attend New York Comic Con next year. But we got some stuff to talk about from NYCC, so I guess we will get into it. Daredevil Born Again, season 2. We got some info on that. Are you locked in or not?
I'm sorry. It was work. I needed to answer that text, so I'm very sorry.
Oh,
And I was answering it on my
okay.
laptop. I am logged in, I swear.
I
Okay.
was like, what are we doing?
I'm sorry. Like
But
sometimes I gotta answer a text. I'm sorry. Okay.
okay, it's fine. No, Daredevil Born Again season 2. We already, or I'm sorry, we didn't have our official first look, even though pictures had leaked out. This was like the
Mhm.
first look that we got at Daredevil's new suit. Well, first time in live action suit. He's rocking the double D's on the chest, which Charlie Cox was super thrilled about in a couple of interviews. It was sick.
Every time someone says that, it's funny, and no one else laughs but me.
Oh, I think it's funny, but
It's
it's
hilarious. I saw the specific interview where he's like, "I'm rocking the double D's on my chest." That's not how he sounds. That's not
no,
how he
no.
sounds at all.
I also, this is like, maybe this is because I'm so uninformed. I had no idea this guy was, you know, from London or
He's
England, wherever the
British.
hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
That's why I
like,
did the
I heard
really
an
really
interview
bad
this weekend, and I
accent.
was like, oh, I've been watching
Yeah.
Daredevil, you know, season 1, the Netflix series.
Mhm.
Takes you by surprise sometimes when you hear somebody do such a good English accent, and then you
I
hear
did
that they're
not
from
know.
Britain.
I did not know either until I walked up to his table at MegaCon and started talking to him, and he was British, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's crazy! I did
This is
not know
news to
that."
me.
Is he
But
British or is he Scottish?
see, once we start getting over
Oh
the
frick, I
pond,
don't
it all gets
remember. I
confusing
don't
to me.
remember. It's okay. It's okay. Let's just move. We need to talk about it. Let's just move on.
Let's
Let's
just
just
move
talk
on.
about it.
But obviously the outfit looks sick. They literally, there's only one picture out there. Entertainment, whatever, put it out. So this is probably gonna be the one sole picture that is
Yeah.
floating around online for months until a trailer comes out. So get
It
used to
looks
seeing.
tremendous.
Looks tremendous. Looks
Mhm.
awesome. They were talking about. I guess was there a panel or something, or they're just doing is this all through interviews? I'm honestly not sure.
I think
But
there was a panel, but I could be wrong. It's hard to keep up with the amount of panels that Marvel did at this convention. So
yeah, I was honestly just getting all my news and keeping up with everything through like tweets and whatnot. And some
Mhm.
people weren't specifying where like they were getting their info from New York Comic Con. They were just like just in from Comic Con or whatever. I was like, all right, sure. But Brad Winderbaum from he's one of the guys in charge over at Marvel teased that Daredevil Born Again and Spider-Man Brand New Day there might be some connections there, which I think we might have speculated on
we had talked about that
briefly.
before. Yeah, we were
Yeah,
wondering if they were just going to kind of leave it open ended or if they were going to connect a little bit because, you know, obviously all these events are happening in New York City where Spider-Man is located. Spider-Man was named, well, kind of mentioned. He wasn't specifically name dropped in season 1, but he was mentioned. And a man in a spider outfit. That literal line that we say all the time is from Daredevil Born Again season 1.
yeah.
And we've kind of discussed kind of like we want to know if Spider-Man is going to make an appearance. Not, we don't think he will in Daredevil Born Again season 2, but it is New York City and he is a mass vigilante, which Kingpin is directly opposing.
Or
So
vice versa,
yeah,
Daredevil and Spider-Man.
yeah, and Kingpin is a Spider-Man villain too. So it's just something that we've discussed before on earlier podcast episodes, and we really wanted to know if there was going to be any kind of connection between season 2 and Brand New Day, since they're coming out so closely together. And the Punisher special is still something I want to know if that's going to link together with them as well.
Yeah.
I don't think we know at this point if Frank Castle is going to be in Daredevil Born Again season 2. I would be surprised if he's not, because of the end credit scene in season 1 where we see that he does escape Kingpin's lockup. But that could just mean that could have been teasing just the Punisher special, not necessarily season 2. But I'm excited that he did say that there would be some kind of connection, because I really like when things flow between projects in the MCU. I think that's something that we've been kind of missing for a long time, pretty much since Endgame. We get these projects that kind of stand alone all over the place, but we haven't really been feeling the connection that we used to feel in phase 1 and 2 and 3, the Infinity Saga, really. Yeah. So it's nice to see that we are going to get a little bit of a connection from season 1 and 2 into Brand New Day.
Well, the quote going around from Brad Winderbaum was, "We don't want to spoil anything, but it very much exists in the same world and it is important." And that's such a vague answer
it's
to,
so
I'm sure,
vague.
What the question was probably, I don't know the exact question, but I'm sure it was something along the lines of, is Daredevil and Spider-Man or vice versa? And he gave such a vague answer, but also left it very open-ended. So I feel like there's probably gonna be some crossover. We've heard so much stuff, and honestly, I don't think Spider-Man will appear in Daredevil. Like, I feel like if you're going to see a connection, it's going to be Daredevil and Spider-Man. Do it on the big screen. In my personal opinion, I could easily be wrong, but there's been so much conversation over the last few years of fans wanting that street-level Spider-Man movie, which we keep hearing Brand New Day is going to be. Nothing's more street-level than getting Daredevil in there, and maybe Frank's going to be in there as well.
Other we'll street-level heroes.
Exactly. So I would definitely be thrilled, and we could get Daredevil Born Again Season 2, and there's a little bit of teases as to what might be going on in New York City as a whole when we get to Spider-Man, and then we'll actually pick up on that when we get to Brand New Day, and then boom, Daredevil, even if he's not a huge part of the movie, could end up being in there. I definitely think if there's a reason a non-forced reason to have those two characters on the screen at the same time, freaking go for it. We already know Punisher's going to be in there, so.
Yeah, if the writing is there and if it makes sense, then I have no problem with seeing Charlie Cox as Daredevil in Spider-Man Brand New Day. I think it would make a ton of sense. I don't think if he isn't in the movie, I don't think that's a bad thing, and I don't think it's like, well, that doesn't make any sense. You know, it doesn't matter either way, but I think if they can make it work, it would work really well if Daredevil was included. I know that could make the cast a little bit crowded in Brand New Day if they do involve him, and then it's kind of like, is it really a Spider-Man movie? It'd be like yet another Spider-Man movie where there's all kinds of major Marvel characters in it, you know? So especially because we had the Hulk, which we haven't really talked about too much.
Yeah, and I can understand how, like, especially diehard Spider-Man fans might be like, all right, too much. We just want the Spider-Man movie.
Right, yeah. And either way, I don't really have a problem with it, but I am one of those people that kind of wants to see Spider-Man stand on his own. Obviously, we're not going to see him stand completely on his own because Punisher and Hulk are in this, and there's even rumors about Yelena possibly making some kind of appearance in it. But yeah, it does look like it's going to be more of a street-level Spider-Man film, so I'm hoping that it does stay that way. But I think it would be really cool to see. I mean, they know each other. Although Daredevil doesn't remember who Peter is, so he might not even remember covering his case, but he definitely knows who Spider-Man is. So I think it would be another really cool interaction that they don't know each other's secret identity.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know, actually, if Peter realized that his lawyer was, because he caught the brick and he was like, how did you do that? But I don't think he's necessarily made the connection that he's Daredevil. I don't know. I think it would be a really cool dynamic. It'd be a cool dynamic.
Oh,
we
no,
love
for
the secret
sure.
identity heroes, so.
And honestly, like, if there's two things, and it's like get a Spider-Man street level movie or get a Spider-Man movie where it's really just Spider-Man and not other big characters, right. I feel like, especially based off all the stuff we already know, more likely this time around we're going to get that street level movie, because with the way things are going in the MCU right now, we're building up to Doomsday, we're building up to Secret Wars after that. We're more likely to get that solo Spider-Man movie when we get to like Spider-Man 5 and 6, assuming those are
Right.
going to happen and after we get
Right.
through Secret Wars and stuff, because things are just moving really fast to get to Doomsday. There's a lot of things to be answered, there's a lot of things to
Mhm.
bring together, so like I feel like it's not going to surprise
Yeah.
me if there's a little bit of that all-star cast to
And
Brand New
as
Day per
long
se.
as, yeah, and as long as that Sony contract is in place, we aren't going to get a Spider-Man movie where there isn't some kind of MCU hero involved.
Yeah.
So there's also that you can't work around. So, I mean, it's fine. It doesn't really bother me too much. I can understand why it would bother, super huge diehard Spider-Man fans, but
Sure.
that does not describe either one of us. So, we come from a pretty impartial stance on
Yeah.
Spider-Man. So, yeah, it is exciting though. I'm so excited for Daredevil Born Again season 2. Noah is still working his way through the original Daredevil series. Yay, that's a great
Dude,
thing.
I'm loving it. I finished season 1. I was like, this is great. And Leo, by the way, we have established in the last 10 episodes, I'm not a series guy. I'm not a show
No,
guy. But you know why I think I'm enjoying Daredevil so much? And I started with the
because it's a
Netflix
good
show.
show.
Yeah, well, it's actually a good show.
Because it's a
And
good
it
show.
wasn't, I'm especially back in when the first season came out, 2015, I believe is when it said. There was no intention of, oh, this needs to tie into a movie and this, that, and the other. And like, it didn't feel like a watered down attempt of a movie turned into a
Right.
show. It was
Mhm.
just a show. And I'm like,
Yep.
wow, I can actually really enjoy this. And I was talking about this briefly on a stream I did the other night because I was talking about watching Daredevil for the first time. And I was
Mhm.
like, man, there are so many good characters that don't even make it out of season 1.
Yeah.
Like a lot
It's
of bodies
true.
are flopping. Like, dude, like I know he's like an evil guy or whatever, but Wesley I really liked
Yes,
in season
Wesley
1.
was a great character. He
Super
really was.
intriguing. One of those
Mhm.
guys. I'm about to sneeze any second. Let's see if it goes away or
Bless
not.
you. Nope, now it's not coming.
I think I'm good. But
Okay.
he was a super intriguing character. One of those guys where I was just hanging on all of his dialogue. And then guy gets shot in like the 7th or 8th or one of the last episodes, whatever it is, of season 1. He goes down. Ben Urich, who I could tell the entire time, I'm like, his days are
He was
numbered. But
doomed. Yeah, he was cooked.
I was just waiting for it. And then this guy
Yeah.
gets strangled. And I'm like, well, there he goes. Like another great character gone. But they just kept dropping like flies. And I absolutely loved the scenes. Honestly, some of my favorite scenes in season 1 were just Matt in the church
Yeah.
talking to his pastor or whatever.
Mhm.
Like, again, just the dialogue was fantastic. The
It's
whole
amazing.
scene of him asking him if he thinks the devil's real, and then he starts going about the story about whatever and why he does think the devil's real. All this stuff, I was like, this is fantastic, man.
It
This
is.
if Disney Plus shows were like this, maybe I'd be more intrigued. I'll see what Born Again season 1 was like when we get there,
Mhm.
but. I finished season 1. It was fantastic. I'm 3 episodes in, whatever it is, to season 2.
Oh, you're entering peak.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
The last episode I watched the other night, Frank Castle was all beat up and bloodied after getting involved with the Irish guys, and he was just laying on the tombstone. And then Daredevil's about to get handcuffed, and he tells the
Mm,
cop, "Yo, you say you did it." And I'm like, "Oh my god, genius! This is great."
yep.
So I'm absolutely loving this show. I'm literally sitting here watching, like, I understand why Grayson said this is one of his favorite characters, and
Yeah.
I might be there by the end of this series. But
Mhm.
and honestly, and the fact that Born Again came out this year and season 2 comes out next year, that was a big reason why I wanted to go back and watch this now. But yeah, I'm loving it so far.
It's so good. It's so good. That's why we're so excited about season 2. And there's some things that Noah and I have discussed before. We obviously discussed spoilers for that show because it came out a long time ago.
Yeah.
And sometimes we need to talk about things like Daredevil Born Again, which he hasn't seen, but I'm pretty sure he knows at this point, right? Everything that happens in that show because we talk about like we have
Yeah,
to
the
talk
only
about
thing,
it.
honestly, the only
Yeah.
things I don't know from Born Again and then the 3 seasons of the other show are some of this romance stuff that you're letting me know
So,
about. And I'm like, wait a
yeah.
minute, I'm not there yet. That's the stuff that I don't see
Well,
talked
that's
about
too
online a
dang
lot.
bad because we need to talk about it for a second.
That's
I
fine.
am a diehard Frank Castle and Karen Page shipper. Castle forever. Listen, they are so good together. In my opinion, Matt and Karen just don't work. They don't work. They never really do. They're on and off again so much, and that's how you know it just does not freaking work. So I am not a Matt and Karen person. I don't even know who Matt should be with. Probably nobody, because he's got a lot of issues. So Matt really just needs to figure it the heck out. But I think, and Noah, once you finish Daredevil, the original series, you should definitely watch Punisher because Frank and Karen have a lot of scenes together in the Punisher series. And
Sure, I'll
it
watch that.
also builds up a lot of that romance. There's like so much tension. There's such a huge unspoken thing between them. But in Daredevil Born Again season 1, Matt is like, I heard your heartbeat, like you and Frank's heartbeats, and how they rose like when you saw each other.
Mm,
So that kind of, I don't know, validated everything that
crazy.
everyone that likes them together really has been seeing this whole time. So I've been a huge shipper of that of that romance. And then of course, was it a trailer that was shown at New York Comic Con?
If it was, I didn't see it. I'm sure it
I
leaked out,
didn't
but it
see
probably
it
got pulled
either.
by now.
But yeah, I've been seeing everywhere people are saying that in this new trailer for Daredevil Born Again season 2, Matt and Karen seem to have rekindled their romantic connection as they showed footage of them slow dancing or something like that.
That's what
I
was
haven't
said.
even
That's what
seen
was
it.
said.
Yeah, I haven't even seen it myself, but I've seen people talking about it. And let me just say, Castle will never win. They'll never win. I don't understand, but I get it. They keep coming back to the fact that Frank Castle is not somebody that will clearly that will ever move on from what happened to his family. And he literally does say to Karen, she's like, if you could move on, if you could just love someone else instead of fighting another war. And he says, I don't want it. I don't want that. I don't want it. Which is
Well, that
crazy.
tells you, a shipper, all you need to know.
No, it doesn't matter because they still because they still really, really care about each other. It does not matter that he says that. He still clearly has the thing for her. But anyways,
Hey.
that is
He can
painful
have a thing and he
because
just doesn't want to pursue it. Let Frank
well,
live.
I don't understand why they would even include that scene where Matt talks about their heartbeats together in that room in season 1 of Daredevil Born Again, if they're just going to backtrack and have Matt and Karen be a thing again in Daredevil Born Again season 2. So that kind of blows my mind. Castle will never win. I know that there's a lot of people out there that agree with me that Frank Castle and Karen Page are a really great couple. They're like one of my favorite romantic connections in the MCU that are currently still a thing, but
Possible.
I guess not freaking anymore
Hey,
because
you don't know.
Punisher's going to do big screen things, so they got to stick Karen back with Matt again. Like, here we go again. They're on again.
That's actually the underlying story of what happened. They were like, listen,
Yeah.
we need Frank for Spider-Man, so you're gonna have to figure something out for Born
So
Again
Matt and
season
Karen
2.
are getting back together because Frank's got his own big screen things going on.
Maybe this is just a bait and switch. They were like, we'll get people talking about Matt and Karen, and then they ain't even gonna see what happens with Frank and Karen coming. The big brain on these guys. The big brain on these guys. Dude, I literally, it's crazy that this was a topic of conversation, literally, and it came up, we were talking about it briefly last night, because the night before is when I just watched the episode where Matt and Karen kiss in the rain for the first time, and I'm like, wait, what?
And Noah's like, what are you talking about, Frank and Karen? And I was like, you just freaking wait.
And then there's Claire. I was like, oh, Rosario Dawson's in this? Cool.
I loved Claire. Claire was great in that show. She deserved better. I thought her and Matt were great together, but Matt has a lot of issues. So, like,
yeah, he can't see, but yet he keeps pulling these beautiful women, dude. Make it make sense.
He's just a little bit of a hoe, a little bit.
Oh.
He is. He literally
crazy.
is. That's comic accurate Matt Murdock.
Hey. I ain't hating it. No.
Foggy even says it. Foggy's like, how do you do it? And it's because he can actually see. Foggy. That's how he does it.
Well, Foggy got with that one blonde bitch in season 1.
Oh my gosh.
She was bitchy. She was.
I don't even remember her name. But it's funny that you said that I wish the Disney Plus series were like the original Daredevil series. But you know which series is better than anything that Disney Plus series have ever done? X-Men 97. Okay, break it down. Okay, and that's
Alright, back to you.
Okay. Anyways, X-Men 97 season 3 is already in production, and we haven't even gotten season 2 yet, which is so exciting. I think the most painful thing about the X-Men 97 announcements at New York Comic Con is that season 2 isn't coming out until next summer. And I fully believed we were going to get it in like May of next year. So it's kind of, I know it's not that huge of a difference, but or March. I was thinking like March.
I figured
May.
like March because that was when season 1 came out.
Yes, like that window was what I was looking at. And then when they said summer, that kind of
Like, what the
sucks.
fuck?
Yeah, we've already been waiting for so long. So it's going to be over 2 years since season 1 came out by the time we get season
But
2.
it'll be worth the wait because that season 2's the kickoff to a whole new world.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Season
Mm-hmm.
3 already in production, like you said. Evidently going to be whatever hat is going to be the main story of season 3. Going to be
Mm-hmm.
teased in season 2, which obviously makes sense, but it
Yeah.
does get you excited. And the reason it gets you even more excited is because when season 2 comes to an end, you know you're not gonna have to wait 2 years for season 3 because they are already in production, and season 2 is the kickoff of a new season being released every single year
Yep.
starting in
Isn't that
2026.
incredible? Isn't that incredible? Like,
Already discussing storylines for season 4 and 5.
we're being fed. We're being fed. And then, so we're going to have X-Men 97 going, and then they're going to start adding the X-Men into live action, and we're really going to be in the mutant era. We're going to be in the mutant saga. We're going to be fed. This is what I've been waiting for my whole life, you guys.
Dude, I'm so hyped, man.
I've
X-Men
been waiting
97.
so long.
So
And
good.
I understand that a lot of people are very cautiously optimistic, and some people actually don't have a lot of faith in X-Men 97 moving forward as a series because Beau DeMaio has been removed from the project, and he's been very vocal about his feelings about the project and the MCU and Kevin Feige as a whole online. But that's honestly none of my business.
It's a whole that's become a whole
that's
nother
a whole
situation.
rabbit trail.
It's just,
yeah. But the thing is, I can understand why you would be worried because Beau DeMaio had a huge impact on that show. But I just recently rewatched X-Men 97 because that's what I do, and there's like 4 or 5 executive producers on that show.
Yeah.
I understand that Beau DeMaio had a huge impact on it, and he was known to be the showrunner, right? He was the showrunner for X-Men 97, and I understand that. But one man does not make an entire show without the abundance of people also working on that project. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
there's a whole lot of people on that project that obviously aren't the front runners like Beau DeMaio was, but there's a ton of people I feel like that we can still count on to make this show as good as it was in season 1. And I honestly have until they let us down, I have complete faith in the people that are still working on this project. So
Exactly.
I don't think that everyone should be as worried as they are. There are still a lot of people working on this project that really care about it. So I don't want to feed off of that negativity and be like, but they got rid of Beau DeMaio, so it's gonna suck.
Hey,
no,
could it be us? You know what I mean? Could it be us?
Couldn't be me. I mean, I could obviously be proven so wrong, and it comes out and it's horrible, and we're gonna have a whole different kind of podcast episode that week. But until that happens, I'm going to be excited about X-Men 97 moving forward because it is literally, and I wanted to ask you this question just really fast. Since I did this rewatch, I was feeling really high on my X-Men. Would you say that X-Men 97 is the best thing that the MCU has done? The best thing the MCU has come out with since Endgame?
Well, technically, we should say is the best thing Marvel has come out with because technically X-Men 97 is not MCU.
Right, I understand. But it is, okay, is it the best MCU project? It is an MCU project. It is.
I'm so confused. MCU is just a brand label to me. Some people are so... it gets
and
confusing.
I guess I wouldn't say it's part of the cinematic universe. So, well,
it's in its own world.
Do you think that X-Men 97 is the best Marvel project? Is it the best Marvel project since Endgame?
Since Endgame.
There's a lot of stuff since Endgame. There's Guardians 3. There's Spider-Man No Way Home. There's Thunderbolts. There's Fantastic Four.
That honestly, the Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four are punching their way up in comparison to X-Men 97. I wouldn't say No Way Home because, as we established earlier, Spider-Man's not like this sentimental character to us, and I love Spider-Man. Don't get me wrong,
and it's a great movie. It's
great movie, like, but it's a different thing. Like to us, it means a different thing.
Right.
But it might be, man, because I just think like, listen, I've established on this podcast before a lot of this Marvel stuff and DC stuff that I've watched in recent years. Like I'm not, admittedly, a lifelong fan. I don't have all the knowledge, but one thing that I do remember watching when I was young was some of the X-Men Fox movies. I remember going to the theaters and watching Logan. So like I do have a little bit of a small connection with these X-Men characters and like a little bit of nostalgia, so they mean more to me. And then even when I went back and watched the original series as 97 was coming out, so I wasn't even watching 97 as it was coming out. I watched it later in the summer because I wanted to catch up on 5 seasons from the 90s first. I
Hmm.
was like, I just feel so much more attached and I care about these characters. So that makes 97 that much better for me. I think I had to say yes. I think it's my favorite thing Marvel project that has come out since Avengers Endgame. And I don't think that's a crazy thing to say.
It's
I think
not
a
a
lot of
crazy
people
thing
would
to say.
agree.
And you know why? Because it is by far the best thing that has come out since Endgame. By far, it is. And that I understand that you guys know that we are, as Noah said, very, very high on the X-Men. We are a huge X-Men fans. If there's anything that we love, it's the X-Men. We love the X-Men more than probably any other thing. I mean, my favorite hero ever is Gambit. So obviously,
I want to
this
see Hugh
kid.
Jackman on Radio City. Come on now. Like, you
Exactly.
gotta care to go see Hugh
Yeah.
Jackman sing
Yeah.
musicals.
Yeah, exactly. So I understand how this can sound like a very biased opinion when I say this. X-Men 97 is the greatest thing that has come out of Marvel since Endgame, and it's actually not close. When you think about the dialogue, the fearlessness that they had as far as all of the combat scenes and the themes that they were hitting on, the dialogue is just incredible. And I'm obviously fresh off of a rewatch that I finished literally yesterday. It is so incredible. And I actually forgot just how good it was because when I was thinking about it before, I was like, I mean, there were really, really good episodes, but not every single episode. It's not all
Sure.
around, but no, it is. It literally is. There's one episode, but it's only the first half of an episode that you can just skip entirely, and it's the Motendo
Yeah,
episode
I
with
was gonna be like,
Jubilee.
I know exactly which
Yeah,
one you were talking about.
I think that guy's name is Mojo. I always forget his
Yeah,
name, but yeah, that episode you obviously can skip that. It has great visuals in that episode, but
oh,
it's
sure.
just not
The
necessary. And it
animation of this
was
entire show is fantastic.
yes, and it just the voice acting and just everything about that show is so good. And there you cannot if you were to make a live action version of that show, a complete remake bar for bar, it would not hit the same. There's
Hmm.
no way they could pull off all of those effects and all of those fight scenes and the battle, the devastation on Genosha. There's no way you could pull that off in live action. That's why a big part of me, if X-Men 97 was the only thing we got until the end of time of the X-Men, I would be happy. Because
Because at least we know we can count on it. For,
and
you
you
know.
know that, like we've said before, there are restrictions in live action and there are no restrictions in animation. There are restrictions that they have in
Yeah.
live action that they don't have to worry about in animation. And the X-Men are always good in animation. And I feel like we've seen over and over again that you can't always get their powers right. You can't go to the full extent of who they are in live action the way that you can in animation. But I am still excited about getting the X-Men in live action, don't get me wrong.
Oh,
But
sure.
I think X-Men 97 is by far the best thing that Marvel has come out with since Endgame. So, I have this new segment that I feel like we should do. Yeah.
Well, this is news to me.
Even though you've already said that you think X-Men 97 is the best thing that has come out since Endgame, we can definitely agree on that, right? That
Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four are like 2 and 3, but there's a gap.
there's a gap.
Between
Yeah.
X-Men 97 and the
Yeah.
rest.
Yeah, so I think it would be fun if every time a new Marvel project comes out, we do this segment called "I Still Love My X-Men." Isn't that such a? I feel like that's so funny. I'm a huge fan
So
when you use a play on words. So I still love my X-Men, and every time a new Marvel project comes out, it would be so fun if we were like, so is this new project better or worse than X-Men 97? Because X-Men
Okay.
97 to me is the bar. It is the standard. It is so good.
Is it the best thing that's ever come out that Marvel's
That
ever
was
produced?
what I was going to talk to you about. So
Okay.
since we've already established it's the best thing that's come out since Endgame, I wanted to backtrack and compare
Oh,
it
boy.
to other Marvel projects that we obviously love. Do you think that X-Men 97 is better than Guardians of the Galaxy 1?
This is such a hard segment,
It's
dude.
so hard,
I
right?
have because it's hard to compare. Not even X-Men 97. It's just hard for
But
me to
animation to live action is hard for
compare. No,
me.
I was gonna go just movies and shows.
Okay, yeah, that too. It's really hard because sometimes shows have a lot more runtime to give us what they have, but the episodes aren't that long in X-Men 97, but
No, and again, the animation to live action thing is different as well because you can do a lot of stuff in animation.
mhm,
I just watched Guardians a couple weeks ago too, so it's fresh in my head. Man, I
mhm,
love that movie. That's so
mhm.
hard. I'm gonna say X-Men 97 is better than Guardians 1 because I like the X-Men better.
No, I think that it just is better And I know we are so gonna get flamed about this segment, but that's why I thought it would be so fun because I think it just is better. I think it just is. Like Guardians 1 is really, really great, but when you compare the the theme that X-Men 97 is tackling and the weight that you have going into that show, like it's such a heavy thing that they're dealing with
Mhm.
in X-Men 97. Guardians 1 is a lot of fun,
That's what I'm
and
saying.
that's it.
Like they're two
You know?
completely different storylines and stuff. And this is the
Exactly.
thing. That's why I said movies and shows because
Mhm.
movies, like you can cut the fluff, you can get right down to it. And I'm
Mhm.
not talking about X Men '97 specifically when I talk about shows, but you guys know how I feel about shows. Like,
Mhm.
dude, I just finished the whole first season of Daredevil. I could have finished a whole trilogy of movies in that same time it took.
It's
Like,
true.
it's just I have a thing towards shows. I don't know. It's hard for me. I just prefer movies all day long.
And
But
same,
X Men
I would say that
'97,
I prefer movies too.
yeah,
Yeah.
X Men
But
'97 is just on a different pedestal, dude.
it's just better. And we've done our top 10 personal favorite MCU movies. But and Guardians 1 is literally my second favorite MCU movie, but I think X-Men 97 is better than it. And maybe
It's fair.
it sounds like I'm glazing, but I really
Yeah,
think
if
that
you're a
it's
lifelong
true.
X-Men fan, like it's just gonna hit different for you.
Yeah. And I don't know. I'd love to hear from someone who is impartial. Maybe we'll have to pull Grayson in on this maybe one day, but I would love to see if they have the same feeling. And someone that's not necessarily X-Men isn't necessarily their favorite thing in the world, but they
Sure.
still really, really enjoyed the show if they would still
Like
feel the
us
same
with
way.
Spider-Man.
Right. Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Would you say that X-Men 97 is better than the first Avengers? The first Avengers, for some of you that don't know, the first Avengers is both of our favorite MCU movie ever.
That's so hard, dude. That's
It
literally
is
one of
hard.
my. You're talking about one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah,
Not even just Marvel.
I know.
I, it's hard for me to say, yeah, dude. I think I got to go the first Avengers.
I think I would go the first Avengers too, just because
That movie's
for
so
what it
peak,
is,
bro.
it's just different. If we got a movie like the first Avengers for like the first time the X Men actually come together in live action, that
I mean,
would be
we
the
could be
most
getting
peak.
something like that. I don't know
We
how
could.
necessarily we're going to be introducing this new group of X-Men into the
Hmm.
MCU after
Hmm.
Secret Wars. We can talk about that momentarily, but we could
Yeah.
get there eventually. But right now, I think
Hmm.
I have to go the first Avengers
Yeah,
movie. Like
I
I
think I
love
would go
that
the
so
first
much.
Avengers too, for sure. I don't want to go too far. And then the only other one I would possibly compare X Men 97 to is the Winter Soldier. Everything else, I think it's
So
by
peak.
far, other than Infinity War, I would go Infinity War over X Men 97. Infinity War is masterclass. But
Yeah, I think Infinity War, Winter Soldier, the first Avengers. I'm taking all those over X-Men
yeah, I
'97.
think they're all safe over X Men 97. I'm not
Is there
completely
anything
blind.
else? What about Civil War?
I'd take X Men 97. I would. I really,
I don't
really
know.
would.
I'm not sure how. I feel like I'm fence sitting with that one
Because
since I
what's
love Civil
crazy
War,
is
dude.
that at the end part of X-Men, we do have a little bit of a civil war between the X-Men. Rogue and Sunspot
Sure,
go and join Magneto, and then they have this big old fight, and it's insane to watch.
great
And
fight by
I
the way.
think that great fights in all of X-Men 97. I just think that that hits harder than the airport fight scene in Civil War. It was so peak at the time, and I still love that movie. I think I put it at my fifth spot when I did our rankings,
Hmm.
our personal favorite rankings. But I just think that the X Men are way cooler. I think that it's just
I don't
way
know.
cooler than what we
Yeah,
got in Civil
listen. You
War.
know this about me. Like Captain America has just become my guy,
Hmm.
and I'm on Team Cap. And
Hmm.
I love me some Civil War. I don't know, dude. Civil War might be over it as well, but I think those are probably Civil War. I don't know, but at least it's in the category of like these are the handful of movies that I'm taking over X-Men
Yeah.
'97. But after that, I don't think there's any other movie that I'm like, yeah, I like this movie as a whole better than the substance of X-Men
Hmm.
'97.
Some people are going to really agree with us, and some people are going to think we're insane. But I would love to know what everyone else thinks about that. So, anyone
If
that's listening to this, wherever you see this, please comment, whether it's on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, wherever. Please tell
mhm.
us how you feel about X Men 97. Are you high on it the way that we are, or do you think that we're just insane?
Join our
I don't.
Discord and argue with us about
Yes, you can always
it.
join our Discord and argue with us about it. I would love that. But I just think that it's so incredible. Everything about X-Men 97 is incredible. And if you haven't watched it yet, you absolutely should. It's so
If you're mad
good.
that it's an animated show and you don't want to watch animated shows, get off your high horse and watch the show.
I can't even be bothered to argue with people about that anymore at this point in time because we've gotten so many amazing animated shows. And if you feel that strongly about not being interested in animated shows, that's fine. I don't even care to convince you to watch
Yeah,
them then.
their mind's
You
probably
know,
not going to get changed at this point.
exactly. Yeah, we're so far into this that I don't think it's even gonna matter to people that don't want to watch animation, which is fine, whatever. But you're missing out on a lot of good stuff: Clone Wars, Rebels, X-Men 97, the original 90s X-Men,
Peak.
peak stuff.
Talking about X-Men still, and we
Mm-hmm.
talked about how they did the first Avengers movie and them coming together, and if we had an X-Men movie like that, could be
Mm-hmm.
peak. We
Mm-hmm.
don't really know what this X-Men movie is going to be, and who the exact X-Men team is even going to be
Yeah.
post Secret Wars. Obviously, I think they've been casting for the new X-Men for a while now.
Yeah.
But the rumor as of New York Comic Con, and I don't even think it was anything that was said at Comic Con. I think it just happened to come out during the weekend. But the rumor is that the X-Men film from Marvel Studios is rumored to release in theaters May 5th,
Mm-hmm.
2028, which is, 5 months after Secret Wars, if Secret Wars doesn't get pushed back or anything. Dude, that's not too bad. That's not too
It's
bad.
not bad. It's not bad. 2028 just looks, when I look at that year, it feels so crazy to know that I'm going to be 28 years old in that year. But it's when I look past that, it's not that far away, so that makes me really really
Yeah.
excited. I'm just so ready to meet our X-Men in live action. I hope that they are relatively unknown actors and actresses. I hope that they're relatively young because I think the coolest thing for us to see in the MCU would be this I don't know if it's not a resurgence, but I don't know, just the rising of the X gene in the MCU and
Mm-hmm.
it all these mutants all of a sudden popping up all over the place with dormant X genes, which normally, here I go in my lore, normally the X gene shows up when they're relatively young, either like, oh, I'm sorry. The X gene shows up when their kids are relatively young or they go through like a traumatic experience, like Jean Grey went through a traumatic experience and it triggered her X gene, and that's when her mutant abilities first arose.
Yeah.
But or they'll sometimes arise when they're in their teen years. So it only makes sense for the X-Men, other than Wolverine, to be relatively young. So I hope that that's what we get, more of a younger team, really, really learning about who they are and coming up in a world that is not used to mutants. They're used to superheroes, you know, but we're talking about just your average Joe person next door getting superpowers all of a
Yeah.
sudden. And some mutants have really scary powers. So it's just, I'm so excited to get into that and I
So
cannot wait.
we don't know who the X-Men team's going to be yet. We
Yeah.
don't know who they're going to be
Mm-hmm.
casted. Is Hugh Jackman still going to be Wolverine? Is Wolverine even going to be used? All this
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Let's go 5, so we're not getting crazy here.
I was
If you
gonna
had
ask
to
you
pick,
this. This is
oh
crazy.
wait, if
No
you had to
way.
pick
Yeah.
5, like build your team, and
Yes.
it doesn't have to be like, because I know some people be like, well, you have to have this character and you have to have this character. It's just
Mm-hmm.
like, we're just doing it for fun. If you
Mm-hmm.
were just hypothetically putting together an X-Men team of
Mm-hmm.
all the mutants that are out there
Mm-hmm.
for this, and let's just say it's the initial team. This is, and maybe people are going to come in down the line in future movies, but in this initial X-Men movie in 2028, who do you want to see come together and be that first maybe 5?
Yeah. I've been thinking about this a lot. And the thing that I always go back to is that first X-Men team, Professor X's first students. And a
Yeah.
couple of them I am going to keep. So 100% you have to have Cyclops. You have to have Cyclops. Scott Summers is pivotal to the X-Men. He is their leader from the beginning. That is just who he is. So I would definitely say Cyclops. I would still say Jean Grey. I think Jean Grey has to be. You can't have Cyclops without Jean Grey. But my one demand is that they never, ever, ever do the Jean Grey Cyclops Wolverine love triangle ever again. Don't ever do that again,
Yeah.
please. It's so gross. It really is.
Well, it just doesn't lead to anything.
And it never leads to anything, and it only causes them problems, and it just doesn't make any sense, especially in the original Fox X-Men, how Jean was literally a child, a teenage child, and saw Logan for the first time. And then just for us to know in our hearts that later on, when he meets her as an adult, he's flirting with her all over the place. And I just think it's gross. It's just gross. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't like it. So I just think we need to leave that behind because it never led anywhere and it never made for good storytelling. It always, the person that always took the brunt of that awful storytelling was Cyclops. He was always made,
Oh,
he never,
there's two
give him something else.
the thing with Jean and Logan might have been disgusting. You know what else was disgusting in those Fox movies? The treatment of Scott
Yeah.
and Black Leather. Back to
Yep.
you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Scott Summers deserves to be done well, and I think that's another huge reason why I love X-Men '97 is because oh my gosh, Cyclops is incredible. They do so much with him, and he is so great. That is peak Cyclops in X-Men '97. So I would say Cyclops, Jean Grey. I don't need Wolverine in this first group. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it would make a lot of sense. So I need those two. I want Iceman. I want Iceman so bad. I think it's kind of crazy that they don't use him a ton in the original 90s X-Men, but they reference him because he's always in that for he is there is like a little bit of an arc that he comes into, but they tease how he left the team, but he is one of the original founding members of the X-Men. I need Iceman to be a pivotal member of the X-Men. He
Mm-hmm.
is an Omega level mutant if you some of you don't know. He's literally Omega level. He's supposed to be so OP. So I hope that he comes in. Bobby Drake is such a fun character. He's like the Human Torch of the X-Men. He is so much fun. So I hope that we have Iceman in there. And then Storm, 1000%. You have
Yeah.
to have Storm. Another Omega level mutant, but Storm is just unbelievable. And she has
Dude,
the coolest powers ever.
X-Men '97 Storm peak.
Peak,
Peak.
peak storm. So I hope that they do her justice. I hope they do her well. She is so cool. I hope that her powers transfer over well into live action. She's just unbelievable. So those are my four, and then
I think I know who your fifth is gonna be.
I struggle with my fifth because I don't necessarily need Gambit to be the fifth member. You know what I mean? He
Mm-hmm.
is someone that gets recruited. He has his own story beforehand as far as being a mutant.
Which I would
But
love to see. By the way, Marvel, you
yes,
want to do a solo Gambit
yeah,
movie?
yeah.
Just saying.
Or I could also settle. I know this goes against everything I believe in. I could settle for a little mini series for Gambit because I obviously know that you can't just give away a solo movie for every single X-Man, right? You can't do that. But
No, you
I
can.
could. No, you can't. There's
Hey,
so many of them.
well, the top dogs though, just like the Avengers, man.
I understand.
That's what I want. I don't want to see
I
no
understand.
Disney Plus shit. Get out of here with that.
Okay, whatever.
You're stinking
Whatever.
up the joint.
Whatever. There are good Disney Plus shows. There are some. There are not many, and they're not perfect, but there are some good ones. But yeah, and I don't want a Disney Plus my favorite character ever. So maybe you're right. But I Gambit does not have to be the fifth member because if Gambit's going to be in there, Rogue has to be in there for me. So I don't want to just put one of them in there. Rogue is also not a founding member of the X-Men. One of the founding members, there's two more, and it's Beast and it's Angel. But I don't necessarily need either of them to be in it. Professor X is a given, right? He's a given.
Oh yeah, I just think he's
not,
leading
yeah.
the team. We don't have
Okay.
to count him as one of them.
Okay, so he's not included. Okay. Gosh, this is
I
hard.
figured I thought you were gonna be very like this is who I'm picking for number 5, and it wasn't Gambit. I thought there was gonna be somebody that you talked about.
I think Nightcrawler would be a great one. I think he would.
That's not who I was gonna say.
It's not. I think Nightcrawler would be a great one. I just don't know if I want that to be who it is.
I thought you were gonna say Kitty Pryde because you
Oh,
always
you're
talk about
so
her.
right. You're so right. But the thing about Kitty is she's another one that kind of enters late. She's supposed to be a little bit younger than the founding members of the X-Men. So
Fair.
I wouldn't necessarily want her to be the exact same age as them going into it. So she's kind of like a Jubilee figure in my mind that she would be a little bit younger than the founding members. So I really got to think about it.
So you got Scott, you got Jean, you got
Mhm.
Storm, you got Iceman.
Yeah. Oh man, I guess Beast would be a good one. But I feel like there's someone that I'm missing that I'm not thinking about. Nightcrawler also has a really cool origin story that I would like to see fleshed out before he gets just added in.
Yeah.
His whole, being part of a circus and everything, I think would be so much fun to dive into. Man, stop. I feel like I'm forgetting people. I'm turning
Fake
around
fan,
looking at my
fake
figures.
fan.
No, you guys. um,
I just pulled up a list of X-Men characters so I didn't forget anybody.
yeah, dude, I need to do that. Hang on. Well, oh my gosh. Um, just give me a second, okay?
Cyclops, she's got Jean Grey,
Hmm.
she's got Storm, she's got Iceman, which I think would be cool because, again, that's somebody who you haven't really gotten much
Yeah,
of.
you gotta do
And you've
Iceman.
talked
Yeah.
about him a lot, so that's definitely somebody who I think you're pretty high on. That's why I
Hmm.
thought Kitty Pryde was going to be on here, because anytime we have an X-Men conversation, you're like, you know who I want more of?
I
Kitty
know,
Pryde.
I know, I know, and it's just that, like I said,
But
I
it's
would want
it's
her to be
the
a little
it's
bit
the
younger.
story, it's the
Yeah.
age thing that's holding me
Yeah.
up. I hear
I'm
you.
going
I
to
hear you.
say Beast because I actually love Beast in X Men 97. And I like him as, someone that has come to terms with who he is because he has a very physical mutation
Hmm.
and an outwardly physical mutation that literally makes him not look like a human at all whatsoever. And I think that would be another really great founding member so that the others, the young X-Men coming in, can see this is someone that has accepted or is working on accepting who he is. And I love him as like an adult figure to the younger X-Men, especially in X-Men 97, how he treats Jubilee and everything like that. I just love Beast and his, I don't know what to call the way that he speaks, but I don't know if they're idioms or just the way that he phrases his speech is so great. He's
Yeah,
always quoting poetry. I love him.
very entertaining.
So,
Good
and I think
dialogue.
they need kind of the brains. They need someone to be the brains of the group. There always is the smart one of the group. So I think Beast is a good fifth one. So I think I'd go with
No,
him.
it's a hell of a fifth one. One of the best X-Men. For me, I didn't think about this beforehand, so I'm going on the fly as well. I'm honestly not gonna put Wolverine in there because
Hmm.
there's so like I don't know. Is Hugh Jackman? He's probably still gonna be playing Wolverine, honestly, after Secret
Hmm.
Wars. But like, how does he fit in? Where's he gonna show up? Is it just gonna be old Hugh Jackman and then a bunch of like 20-year-old X-Men? Like I don't know. It just feels
Hope not.
kind of weird.
Hmm.
I think they could definitely find a way to integrate him into something, but I'm not gonna go Wolverine. However, I'm pretty sure I brung this up before. I would love if they dove more into X-23 and have
Hmm.
her fill that role. So, and maybe this is the initial team. I'm just going like the five I would like to see be the team, but I'm gonna put X-23 on mine. I'm gonna put
Yeah.
X-23. If there's
Hmm.
anybody who could be that replacement, quote unquote, for Wolverine until Hugh Jackman shows up in some way, shape, or form, I'll take that. I'm going Scott as well. Cyclops was absolutely peak in X-Men 97. The injustice that happened to James Marsden in those Fox movies is ridiculous. They make him look like such a geek, dude. Like just
Yeah.
getting punked out by Wolverine like every time they
Yep.
open their mouths. Like there's a
Yep.
couple times where he gets some like good one-liners on Logan, but then Logan will come right back with something better, and it's just like,
Hmm.
I'm sorry, Scott, you're
He's
just a
getting
nerd.
pushed around,
Like you're just a
man.
nerd in these movies, and you're totally
Hmm.
not that guy. You're the guy. Like you
Hmm.
should be leading this group. So Scott needs to be done great, and James Morrison's probably gonna have his moment. Is probably definitely gonna have his moment in Secret Wars.
Hope so,
Thank
yeah.
the Lord above. But after that,
Doomsday.
what's well, he might be in Secret Wars too. We never know.
Okay.
Who knows? Maybe these X-Men aren't going to show up until the end of Doomsday. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe.
But when he inevitably gets recast, whoever that guy is, they may need to make sure they do justice to Cyclops. Again, like you said, if you got Scott, you need Jean. I'm fine with that.
Hmm.
I think that's a good 1-2 punch to kind of quote unquote lead the group. So I'm definitely going Scott, Jean. I'm going X-23. This is where it gets interesting. I think I'm going to throw Nightcrawler on there. I
Hmm.
feel like there's a lot more you could do with that character because even in X-Men 97, like he's in a lot of it. Always felt kind of outside of the group to me. I want him to be more a little bit integrated, if that makes sense. I don't know. I want more. I want more Nightcrawler, especially in
Hmm.
live action. Like we've
Same.
obviously we've gotten plenty in '97 and in the original series, but again, like you said, super interesting character,
He's
great
so good.
backstory.
Hmm.
Like you were talking about Beast and some of his phenomenal dialogue and how you get so interested when he's talking. I feel the same way about Nightcrawler.
Hmm.
Super interesting anytime he opens his mouth. So I'll take Nightcrawler. And then I don't know, man. Part of me wants to throw Storm on there. That's who I'm leaning towards right now as I'm scrolling through some of these X-Men, some of these
I just don't
mutant
know how you
characters.
don't throw Storm on there.
It's just, 97 really put her over the top. She was always great, don't get me
Hmm.
wrong, even in the original series. And even in some of the Fox movies. Like it's not like she had some. I think I enjoyed her more than Jean in those movies.
Mm-hmm.
But 97 really put her over the top, man. Like she is so. I think I'm gonna put Storm on there.
Yeah.
I think I gotta put Storm, especially when you're kicking off the group. Like if we're talking, this is the initial X-Men group that's gonna start off the mutant saga in May of 2028. Like probably want to bring the heavy hitters for the most part, outside of Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Having Storm in there, I think is a good way to do it. So yeah, that'd probably be my 5.
Run them back again.
Jean, Scott, Storm, Nightcrawler, X-23.
Okay. X-23 is a crazy pull though, because she's born out of Logan's genes. But it's your X-Men, I understand.
I'm just looking for somebody to fill that Wolverine role because I know it's unrealistic to think that Hugh Jackman's going to be rubbing elbows with all these new X-Men in the first movie in 2028.
But you can't have X-23 without Logan.
Well, maybe Hugh Jackman's on another part of the planet right now.
Okay.
Maybe he's in Japan and they're redoing that arc or something.
That'd be cool. I ruined it.
Well, no, because I'm putting her on there for a reason that's non-story related.
Yeah.
Like if you start adding logic and story in there, then it goes okay. It's like the Kitty Pryde thing. Like you need to do some bending to have this kind of feel right.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. You can't have Gambit without Rogue.
Mm-mm.
At least in my personal opinion. I'm sure some people out there would be like, fuck it. But
and if you were to have one come before the other, it would be Rogue would come in before Gambit.
Yeah, because and especially because I would like to see a Gambit solo movie. And not that I wouldn't like a Rogue solo movie or something, but I feel like Gambit would be obviously way more interesting.
Right.
Yeah, I'd probably just oh man, who would have put an X-23 spot though, man? I'm just looking for somebody to whip out those claws. That's my problem. We'll move on. I don't know.
Whatever. But it was fun. They're a great X-Men to go with. I really hope they go with my list. Obviously. But
we have almost the same one. 3 of the same. What are you talking about?
And I would be okay if Nightcrawler is in it. But I just need Iceman. I need him to be in there. I really do.
I don't know. We'll see. At least we're going to get some Nightcrawler in Doomsday. And possibly Secret Wars. He might be an old man, but I'll take it.
But there were all kinds of other announcements at New York Comic Con for the Marvel panel. Actually, we got a lot of dates, which is crazy.
Marvel's got a pretty busy slate for next year, especially in comparison to this year, which was pretty lighter than usual. So just to run them down real quick, we got Wonder Man, which got a trailer over the weekend. That's coming out January 27th. All 8 episodes evidently releasing at once is what I heard. Then we got Daredevil Born Again Season 2 in March. Then we got the Punisher special presentation, which is just spring right now. X-Men 97 is just summer. Spider-Man Brand New Day, July 31st. Then we have your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man animated show, Season 2 in fall. And then we have the Vision Quest show in late 2026. And then, of course, obviously, the year will be capped off on December 18th with Avengers Doomsday. Busy year next year.
Such a busy year.
Weak start.
Weak start. Yeah, well, we don't know that for sure. It's always fun to see a new face in Marvel, and really in anything. It's always nice to see a new face. It's nice to start fresh with someone, but I just never expected it to be Wonder Man.
Who?
And I don't know anything about Wonder Man. I don't know if I'm just completely in the dark. I had no idea that series was even a thing. I did not know it was in development. This was news to me.
I just think they've been keeping it kind of under wraps, and that's why they're probably putting all 8 episodes out at once, because they want this thing to come and go. Because I think,
so you think that it was in development, and then they're like, yeah, this isn't gonna go
I just think it's one of those projects that got signed on when Marvel thought they could do no wrong, and they were making all these Disney Plus shows, and I think it was just too far in development, and they were just like, let's just finish this, and let's just put it out, and let's just get all 8 episodes out at once. That keeps the discourse quick and hopefully harmless. At the end of the day, it ain't gonna hurt my excitement for anything coming out next year that actually I'm looking forward to.
And
I'm not even gonna watch this show.
Yes, you are gonna watch it, because we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna watch it, you guys.
8 episodes?
Yeah,
I don't even know. Wonder Bread? Who is this guy?
We're gonna watch it because we need to talk about it, and I hope that it is good. We both hope that it is
Of
good,
course,
right,
I'm not trying
Noah?
to be
Yes.
toxic here. I'm just saying
We
I
hope
think
that
this
it
is the
is good.
reality of the situation.
Yeah, watching the trailer, it didn't really look very intriguing to me. I didn't feel super interested in what they've got going on. It was kind of confusing. He's trying to audition to play Wonder Man, who is a fictional hero in the MCU, but part of me feels like he's going to play fictional Wonder Man, and then he's going to somehow turn into a real superhero who he then just calls himself Wonder Man because that's already who he is playing. So it's like a dream inside of a dream. He's an actor inside of an act. He's an actor acting as an actor. I don't know. I think the most intriguing part about it is the Mandarin. Trevor Slattery is reprising his role. That's his fake name, but he's coming back as the Mandarin / Trevor Slattery. He's
Did see
still
that.
acting, and they literally say in the trailer, which is a funny moment, where she's like, "Where have I seen you before?" And the other one's like, "I'm pretty sure he was a terrorist," which he was pretending to be a terrorist
Yeah.
in Iron Man 3. I love that we're still getting Iron Man 3
Great
crumbs throughout
Christmas
the
movie.
MCU. Great Christmas movie. Another super crazy thing that I did not expect was seeing the Boravian president from Superman in the Wonder Man trailer. He's literally one of the lead
Was he?
actors in the yes,
I don't remember.
the old Boravian guy
I remember the
that
guy
hot
from
girl
Superman,
kills
but
at
I
the
don't
end of
remember
Superman.
seeing him
Yeah.
in the trailer.
Yeah, so he is in the trailer. He's the director of this thing that the main character is auditioning for. So that was crazy. I was like, this guy's just pulling roles left and right. What the heck?
It's like the guy I don't know his name, the actor who arrested Captain America in Winter Soldier, and then he also arrested Peacemaker. Or no, I'm sorry, he arrested Superman in Superman, and he says
Oh
they were
yeah,
filmed like right
yeah,
down the
yeah,
street
yeah.
from
Yeah.
each other. I'm like, yeah,
I
that's pretty
forget
cool.
his real name. He's a great guy. I
Yeah.
forget his real name, but yeah, he plays Crossbones in the MCU, and that his name's Rumlow in the MCU, but his villain name is
Yeah.
Crossbones, and then he plays Rick Flag Senior in Superman. That's who Noah's talking about. Yeah.
Who says we don't know the DCU? Come on now, dude.
Here I am. Uh, but Wonder Man, not super excited about it. I think that it is coming out in January because they don't want it to derail the hype of Born Again, Punisher, and then Spider-Man.
Yeah.
All those things are coming out together. X-Men 97 has already established itself as its own thing, so I don't think they're worried about that, and they know that it's going to hit. So I think Wonder Man's coming out before all of those things, so it doesn't derail the hype of everything leading into Doomsday. But I think
that's literally the only thing next year that I'm not interested in.
Right. And I'm not super interested in Vision Quest because it has taken so long to get this show out that it derails everything.
Fair.
But I'm the most intriguing part about it is that Ultron's going to be in it.
That's the only reason I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So that makes you want to look forward to it. But I think that X-Men 97 coming out in summer is because they needed to get Born Again Season 2 and the Punisher special out before Spider-Man came out. So I think that's the only reason why X-Men 97 got pushed back. I think that's because it has to be
Which is totally
done.
fair.
Yeah, it's fair. And I know that it's done. Unless there's something going on that we don't know about, that show has to be done. It's going to come out literally 2.5 years after it initially came out. So I think they just needed to push it back because they needed Born Again to be in that March slot, and then the Punisher special coming out sometime in the spring. So it's fair. It's disappointing, but it's fair. So
when you think about it, you're gonna have what 8 episodes of Daredevil, and then so that's 8 weeks. Assuming it's 8 episodes, whatever it is, and then you're gonna get the Punisher special. Like things are gonna be moving like this come March, and then before you know it, it's gonna be July 31st, and we're gonna go be seeing Spider-Man Brand New Day. It's gonna be like it's gonna be awesome.
It's going to be great. It's going to be so great. X-Men 97 is going to be so good. That's obviously the thing that I'm most excited about as far as Disney Plus shows, but I am obviously very excited. You guys know how much I love the Punisher, so Daredevil Born Again Season 2 and the Punisher special are going to be great. We have not seen Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 1, and we probably won't go back and watch it. Honestly, it's not something that's super high on our priority list, but if you guys would like to know our thoughts on it, just let us know. In preparation for the next season, possibly we can squeeze that in.
Yeah, I could see myself watching it. I watched like half an episode because I just put it on the background one day. because I just wanted something on the TV. But I never like
Mm,
watched it. I
yeah.
don't think the animation looks cool. I know some people have like outwardly hated it, and I'm like, I think it looks fun. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just its own little thing, like X-Men '97. So I can see myself watching it eventually, but it's not a top priority.
Yeah.
And then of course the year getting capped off with Doomsday, which we've already talked about a lot, which I'm
There's
pretty
been
psyched
like
about.
there's been chatter about Doomsday possibly being pushed back
Don't tell me that.
for the sole reason that Dune Part 3, I think it's the third Dune movie, is coming out at the exact same time.
Listen, I don't know nothing about the Dune franchise, and I know Marvel's had some rough years, but you can't convince me that an Avengers movie is gonna suffer from Dune coming to the theaters at the same month.
From what I've read, it's not whether they think that people aren't going to go see Avengers because Dune is also coming out. It's about who gets the IMAX screens in the theaters. That's the issue. I don't know if it's true,
It
but
better
that's
not
something
be
that people
true,
are
dude.
speculating about. Yeah,
Doctor,
I don't
I
think
need
they are
RDJ to
in.
be kicking down the door of the Doom freaking franchise office. Be like, all right, we had December before
Back it
you.
up. Yeah. I just don't think they are in any position to push that movie back. If they push that
No,
movie back, I think they are going to pay the price for
they
it. I don't
already pushed it
but
back
yeah.
6 months.
Right. Yeah, I don't. And they knew that Dune Part 3 was going to come out, so I don't they could have easily just not pushed it back. They already got to
I know.
pick a new date. So whatever.
I
So
want it
I
to
hope
come
it's
out in
not
December. I love the December movie release.
true.
When
Mhm.
Star Wars, outside of Solo, but you have Rogue One and the whole sequel trilogy coming out in December when they were
Mhm.
coming out. I love those vibes, man. It's Christmas time, going
When
to
Sonic
theaters,
3
new
came out
movie.
on during Christmas,
You're right.
I was peak.
I don't know
I
what it is,
loved
man.
it.
I love seeing movies during Christmas time, dude. I literally
Mhm.
saw Rogue One. It came out like the week prior. I saw it Christmas night in 2016. We went to the movies and saw it, dude. It's just
Crazy.
good vibes, dude. I
It's
want
good
to.
vibes.
This better come out in December because I want to go see
Yeah.
it in December.
I
I'm
know.
trying to come home from Avengers Doomsday and look at all my Marvel ornaments on my Christmas tree. Like, let's fucking go!
You're like, this is the best. When No Way Home came out, dude, fire. That was
Vibes.
also
That's what I'm
Christmas time.
saying,
It was
dude. Like even
fire.
Iron
Yeah.
Man 3, like I love when movies just have they're not Christmas
Mhm.
movies, but and we obviously we could joke that Iron Man 3 is a Christmas movie,
It
but
is a
like
Christmas.
but like they're just the events of it are just going on. It's because I love Christmas, guys. It's because I love
Right.
Christmas. So when there's a scene and there's a Christmas tree in the background, I'm like, oh, this is peak. This is peak.
He's like, oh, I love Christmas.
I
Yeah.
do, man. I'm sorry, but
Mhm.
yeah, I think that's all for the most part. This is the first week. I know, guys. No blind rankings this week. Sorry. You know what? Let's
Crazy.
do one thing
Oh, okay.
before we wrap it up. I'm gonna go on the Discord real quick, and I know some people over the last week have dropped some weekly questions.
We have new people in the Discord, so they have dropped some weekly
So
questions. You're right.
let's just pick a random question and then we'll wrap it up from there. One that we didn't
Okay.
answer last week. So give us a second, guys. We're doing this in real time.
Real time. Okay.
All right. Do you want to pick one or do you want me to pick one?
Um.
There's not that many, but we can definitely choose something.
Wait, I remember there being one that I really liked.
All right, then you can pick it.
No, I like the new one from Sam. I really like that one.
Oh,
So
at the bottom,
Sam,
yeah.
yes, Sam asked, "Are there any fictional characters you wish didn't wear a mask, and are there any you would like to see in a mask?" So
I don't know.
I just love this question because it really makes you think. But and it's any fictional character, which I think is pretty cool. I obviously
doesn't-
immediately go to superheroes, but I don't think there's a superhero that I wish wore a mask because most of them do. So I man,
That's so hard. I don't know.
yeah, I
Because
know.
like in Star Wars, for the most part, like you need a helmet for a reason. Like Kylo Ren wore a helmet, not because like
Just because.
just because. So
Just
like
because
when
he was
and then-
cosplaying his dad. That
that's what I'm
was it.
saying. So like
I mean,
it's
grandpa,
silly. Like
sorry.
you need if somebody's gonna wear a helmet or a mask, they need a
Mm-hmm.
reason for it. And a lot of
Yeah.
times in Marvel and superheroes, it's just armor, so it's fine. But
Right.
Star Wars, it's always been a little bit different. You know, Jedi aren't necessarily walking around
Mhm.
in helmets and armor all the time. But I don't know. Who would I pick? I need to look at my.
I know we're both turning around because we have so many superhero and knickknack
I mean, it's
things
mostly
around
just
us.
Star Wars stuff. I don't got a lot of Marvel merch.
Okay, this is gonna be such a stupid answer, but recently Funko has come out with a new line of Funko Pops for the Sonic franchise that is in collaboration with DC. And some of these Sonic heroes look so sick in masks. You guys, they do. They look really cool. So I would probably say, like, if you made Shadow a Batman esque, here we go with the Batman, with a Batman, not necessarily even a Batman, maybe more like a mask like Nightwing wears, where it's just around the eyes. I think would be
Yeah.
super cool. And then that way he has the all white eyes, you know, kind of
Mm.
like the Ninja Turtles had the white out eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be cool.
All right, I see what you're saying. I don't know. I can't think of anybody, dude. Like, I wish I had a good answer for this. It's a hell of a question. It's a thinker.
It is. I don't
I'm
know. I
trying to
feel
think
like
of
that was a
somebody who would just like look cool.
yeah. I feel like that was a maybe I don't like my answer actually.
No, I mean like,
And this is anyone in fiction. Like that's such a broad
or somebody who would like to
statement.
see or wish you didn't wear a mask is also part of the question.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think Captain America's best look is when he doesn't wear the mask in Infinity
Mm.
War.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you can
Uh
remove that. Um,
hmm. Oh my gosh.
I don't
You
know.
know, one that I also really like when he doesn't always have it's not a mask, but it's a helmet. I like when Magneto doesn't have his helmet on. Sometimes. Like the helmet
Yeah,
is peak, but I also like when you get to see the white hair,
yeah.
and that's why I really like his superhero Magneto. The oh my gosh, this always happens. I'm sorry, guys. This the purple that you get in X-Men '97, the sleeveless purple, the
Yeah,
M, and he's just
or
I
for me.
really like that. So that's one. I guess that counts. I
Yeah, I
would.
don't know. I don't
I
got
don't
an
know.
answer. Cause
Punisher would look pretty cool in a mask.
yeah, like give him the War Machine armor and then just top it off with some kind of helmet. Cause he's
Yeah.
like, well, shit, I already got the armor. Let me put something on real quick.
Yeah, if he had like a skull mask, I think that would be really cool.
That would be pretty sick, dude.
Yeah. Like this.
That's is this something that happened in comics
It's
and we're
it's
just
something that happens. Yeah, like that. Can you see that?
barely? Yeah, I can see
No,
enough of
it's
it.
not focusing. So something
Well,
like
I'm getting
that
the
or like
gist.
this.
I mean,
I don't know.
I could see it. I could see it. That'd be
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I think it would be cool. So, I think we'd both agree Punisher. That is a good one.
Yeah, one of those things you said. I'm sorry, I didn't contribute much to this question. I couldn't think
He
of
didn't. He's
anything.
lame. He's lame.
I couldn't think of anything, guys. I'm
Um,
sorry.
is there any show or movie you've watched that isn't known well that is really good? That's what there that one you can contribute to, right?
Any show or movie that I've watched that isn't known well. Um, Ring of Honor Wrestling on HDNet in
Here we go.
2009.
Okay,
I
here we go.
don't know, man. I'm trying
Okay.
to think. You answer. You answer. Let me think.
There's a lot of shows that I like. One of them that I was thinking about the other day that I think it was big at the time, but now it's pretty relatively forgotten. And with it an E is still on Netflix and it's really, really good. It's based off of the novel Anne of Green Gables. So good. I love that show. The
Hmm.
100 is really good. One of my favorite movies of all time is Tombstone. A lot of people don't really talk about that movie, but it's one of the greatest movies ever, I swear. So if you haven't seen Tombstone before, you should definitely go see it. It's Doc Holliday, Val Kilmer, Kurt Russell as Wyatt Earp. It's really cool. It's really
Hmm.
cool. It's not an unknown movie,
It's just
but
not talked about a lot.
right, it's just not currently being actively talked about. Um,
I got nothing here, dude. You guys gotta
yeah.
understand something. From the time I was like 5 years old to the time I was like 15, alls I watched was Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown, and then Star Wars started resurfacing again, and I was like, oh, this is giving me a reason to like go back and watch all the Star Wars
Hmm.
movies. So now I'm watching all this Star Wars, and then just the last like 3 years, I'm starting to rewatch all this Marvel. But like, I don't outside of these genres, I don't watch a lot of movies or shows, dude.
He's I don't know. I don't even know how to describe you right now.
What? Wait, you guys want to say?
I don't know. Like, why don't you? You need to answer a question. We're getting
Because
off
these are
track.
hard questions. Listen, I'm being honest. I am answering the question saying I don't have a good answer. Like, I don't know. I remember there was this movie, this like alien movie called Paul that my dad showed me and my brother when we were like 10.
I think I know what you're talking about.
And he puts a donut on his finger. And he's like,
Oh, I
"You
like
want a
this one.
donut?"
Hang on. Please stop talking about that. So, Sam asked another question earlier, and it said, if the Marvel Universe was real, which character do you think y'all would get along / be friends with best?
Yelena Belova.
Okay. That's who you hope would get along with you.
I feel like we'd be a funny duo. I don't know. I'm just saying. We'd be friends. What are you gonna say? Bucky Barnes.
No, I was not gonna say that. I was gonna say,
oh
my gosh,
Wolverine,
Frick.
because we're just not
He
really
hates
people.
everybody. Crazy to say.
I keep a small list, folks. I don't know.
I do love this question though. You and Captain America would get along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you want to go hit the heavy bag, bro? You'd be like, yeah. I'd be like, let's fucking
Yeah,
go.
let's go. Yeah.
Dude, all we do would be train and eat, and then he'd be like, yeah, we gotta go fight somebody. I'd be like, all right,
Yeah.
dude. Follow your lead.
I think me and Star-Lord would get along so well.
Oh, yeah, lack of brain cells
So
there.
well. Yeah.
Me and Drax would get along.
Oh, yeah.
For about
You'd
the
be
same
like,
reasons.
they can't see us. And you're
I'd
both
be
standing
like, this
still.
is sick.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I think me and Star-Lord would get along really well. Man.
All the stupid characters is who we get along with.
Yeah, we
Both
get along
of
with
us.
all the fun characters. I don't know. I think me and Bob would get along pretty well too.
Oh my
when
goodness.
he's not evil Void Bob. I think me
Sure.
and Yelena would get along for sure.
Sure. And
I
then
think
I'd be
we
like,
would.
Laney, who's your friend?
Yeah, and I'd be like, don't talk to him. I'd be like,
It's crazy.
he's insane.
It's crazy.
You and Red Guardian would get along.
Mm.
Yeah.
Nah, at some point I'd be like, hey, do you ever shut the fuck up, dude? Why do you keep yelling?
You and John Walker.
Maybe. Especially like Thunderbolt specifically.
Thunderbolt's John Walker, yeah.
Not initial Falcon and Winter Soldier John Walker, but yeah.
I think me and Frank Castle would get along, kind of like the same dynamic he has with the kid in season 2 of Punisher, where he kind of is like super annoyed with her the whole time, but also like that's his child, you know? I think that would be our dynamic. Yeah.
You're looking for a found family dynamic.
Yes.
Okay.
I'd be like, adopt me.
Oh my goodness.
That'd be me with John Bernthal.
I'm trying to think of like one more good one. This is since I can actually answer this question. Who would I get along with?
Obviously, we'd get along with Spider-Man. Obviously.
Oh, dude, he's your friendly neighborhood best friend. Of course we would. Or maybe not. Maybe he'd be too nice for us, and we'd be like,
he'd be too smart for us. That's for freaking sure.
Yeah, for sure.
They'd be like, these guys are idiots. I can't hang out with them.
Dude, speaking of Spider-Man, Ned
would like us.
yeah, for sure.
Ned would definitely like us. Yeah.
That's my last draft pick right there.
Yeah, I like Shang-Chi too. I think he's fun. I don't know.
Okay.
He likes jokes. As long as he doesn't bring Katie around, then that's fine.
Thor, but only in Ragnarok. I need the comedic aspect.
No, yes, I would love that. We would get along with so well. He's so great. But I think we need to wrap. It up.
Okay. Laney, where can they find you?
You guys can find me. Oh, excuse me. You guys can find me everywhere at Laney Byers. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Threads, Twitch. I streamed my first time playing Five Nights at Freddy's, the original Five Nights at Freddy's last night. It was crazy. I haven't made it past night 4, so I'm going to keep trying to make it through all 5 nights. If you guys want to come watch on stream, that's fun. I'll be doing that throughout the rest of October. So my stream community, you guys are the best. You guys are always so supportive of the podcast, so we appreciate you so much. Mm-hmm. Now you can talk about yourself.
I will.
Okay.
I heard something outside. I was like, somebody outside my window right now?
Can you imagine?
John Walker? You guys can go follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Threads at Noah Nation Vlogs. You can go subscribe over on YouTube at Noah Nation Gaming. And of course, the Lightforce Podcast, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Subscribe on YouTube. And if you're watching on YouTube, but maybe you'd rather listen. Maybe you'd rather put us in your ears opposed to your eyes. Apple and Spotify, and vice versa. If you're listening, but you're like, you know what would be sick? If I could watch them.
Yeah.
Come over to YouTube, dude.
Yeah.
Use that big brain of yours, guys. Come on, we know you have it, but that's all we got for episode 11 of the Lightforce Podcast. A lot of Marvel stuff this week. We will definitely talk about that Star Wars top 50 list from Empire Magazine next week, because it is a load of crap.
It's horrendous.
It's horrendous, but that's all we got, guys. We will see you next Friday.
Bye.